apologies for the coughing in advance.
Yeah.
I think, but I'm not the only one in the room. Yeah. There you go.
Sorry, I was just a preemptive strike. Right, Kirsty, whenever you're ready.
Well, if we could start with team news, Steve, how are things looking? Morgan Gibbs, why? You were uncertain, I think, in terms of the length of time you'd be out. Do you know a bit more detail?
No, we're working with him hard, and we're trying to push him without risk of obviously further damage, because that wouldn't be good at all. So it's a little bit ongoing in terms of getting him back, because of course we've got a game in a few days, but we've also got a busy period. So after the next game, then another game comes fairly quickly. So we have to bear all of them things in mind. Obviously Jesse walked off the other night as well, so we're still waiting for that to settle down in terms of the exact damage, if any at all. And we'll give everybody, the two boys you mentioned, plus some other natural kicks and knocks from the game, as best chance we can to get them available for Chelsea.
You do need as many players available as possible, don't you? And the list is growing,
stacking up a bit. Well, it's something that you don't want. Obviously, is an injury list. We've unfortunately, we check who's going to be out for quite a little while with the injury picked up at the World Cup, and the guys that you just mentioned maybe. And some of the longer term ones are maybe taking a little bit longer than what we would have liked to get back, in terms of Nyakate and Omar Richards. Obviously, Julian Bianconi's picked up a long-term injury as well. So yeah, we have picked up some injuries. There's no doubt about that. But that happens, and you have to deal with it. And as always, my focus will be on the boys that can be available to play the next game, and we'll continue with that.
You're approaching January. With that in mind, what's the situation, first of all, in terms of possible outgoings, and Loic Bardet, what's the situation with him?
Well, there's no real individual situations to talk about, because there's nothing close to happening. Naturally, there will be a lot of talk, and there will be a lot of assumptions. Are we thinking about changing of the squad? I think because that's normally what happens in a transfer window. How much, I don't know. In terms of ins and outs, you obviously have the best laid intentions going into a transfer window, and because of what you just said about the injuries that we've picked up in recent times, that obviously adds then to the plans. And if we can do some things that we think are positive, then we will do that. But like I just said on the injuries, my focus has to be on the players that are training every day, getting ready for the next game. We've got a lot of games coming up. We only take it game by game. We don't look further than that. But if I'm thinking too much about other things than training and preparation, then I don't think that's right. So we trust the club to do what we think is right. A lot of good communications going on, and we'll see where it takes us.
So Bardet's loan at the moment still.
But there's nothing. Honestly, there's nothing at the moment that is close to being conclusive.
In terms of the players you do bring in, given your position in the table, how important is it that you bring the right kind of players in that can hit the ground running straight away and kind of be involved in what will be a fight for the rest of this season? Yeah, I think definitely. I think that the first idea I think of players coming in will be to improve a starting team. There's no doubt about that. Maybe we have to think about some strength and depth on some positions because of what we talked about with injuries. But for sure, we need to. If we bring players in, we need to bring players that there's no guarantee, but that we think can go straight onto the pitch and make a difference. Because of what you just said, it's although we were doing okay just before the break, a little bit better, not quite where we want to be. We're still in the league position that we're in, and we need to do a lot
a phase, we need to do things a lot better than what we've done so far. So to do that, sometimes you need to change the team up a little bit, change the squad up a little bit, and look for the right solutions to improve.
What's your message to the players going into this game against Chelsea, given the disappointment of the last result?
Well, we'll always follow the preparation that we think is the right way to go about any game. I think on reflection to Man United, it was always going to be a tough game and go in there and trying to get anything out of the game. But I think if we, and I said straight after the game, if we looked at ourselves, I felt like it's not that we didn't show a good attitude to the game, but we've got to do more than that. We've got to not just show a good attitude and commit to the game. We've got to try and do whatever it takes to make a difference in the game as well. And I think, you know, getting back into Premier League football straight away, you're reminded of you know, small margins and taking opportunities. So yeah, you know, going to Chelsea's obviously going to be tough. They're, you know, incredible squad, and you know, had a good win last time out against Bournemouth on their return. But we have to really back ourselves. And if we are going to do anything in games that ends up getting us positive results, we've got to do it ourselves. And for me, as I've said numerous times, that starts with belief and commitment to what we can bring positively to a game. So that's what the preparation will be about. We obviously we'll be really clear in terms of what we think it takes in terms of a game plan to do well against Chelsea. We're at home. We know the atmosphere that our supporters can create for us. We've got to try and thrive off that. We've got to give the supporters something to try and shout about even more as well. And if we do that, we give ourselves a chance. But as I said, we've really got to believe in ourselves and what we do, and bring it to games. No doubt about that. Thanks, Kirsty. Cheers. Thanks.
Hi, Steve.
How are you?
Good, thanks. A new year and a new name on the front of the shirt.
Yeah.
An exciting venture, this, isn't it? An important one.
A positive message, yeah. You know, I think having you know, delved a little bit into what Forest have done with charities, and particularly locally, there's a lot of good work that's been done over a number of years. But to do something like this on a global front now, obviously not forgetting what we do, and we'll never forget what we do locally, but to do something on a global front as well, I think is a real positive message. I believe it's gone down really well, and I think that's good. Not so much because it's good PR for the club, I guess it is, but it's good PR for the charity and what we're trying to promote. So yeah, we're really proud of what's happening, and great to actually, you know, get on the front of the shirt and show it, you know, globally, and that will be a nice image.
You touched on it before, but how significant, how special is the atmosphere going to be? It's an evening game with Chelsea in town.
Yeah.
And, you know, a New Year, like you said.
Yeah, New Year's Day.
Celebrate.
Yeah, no, it's there's no doubt that the atmosphere is, or certainly since all of my time here, the atmosphere here at the City Ground has been immense. But we can't take it for granted, you know, that we can't expect just people to turn up and support the team as they do. We've got to make sure that we do our bit on the pitch with how we approach games, and how we keep saying commit to games and make a difference in games to really give them something to be proud of. So we're in control of that. You know, we love playing at home, we love playing at the City Ground, and you know, we want to sort of relish their moments to try and get the right results. So you know, first game here obviously for a while because of the break. The cup game was away, obviously United was away, so it'd be great to be back here. But we've got to, like I said, not take it for granted. Just because we've done okay recently, you know, before the break at home doesn't mean that, you know, we can just turn up there and play. We're playing Chelsea's, you know, one of the toughest opponents in the league, and we've got to, you know, we've really got to do well in the game to get the right outcome. But as I keep saying, that's in our hands, that's in our control, and you know, we'll for sure we'll be well prepped. Just, you know, we're obviously disappointed, you know, with the other night, but at the same time, spirit's good, and we've got to take these challenges head on, and that's what we're going to do.
You're 5 unbeaten at home, including that famous Liverpool win. Are you noticing a difference in mentality and physicality between the performances?
Well, it would be slightly naive to say no, because obviously away form has been nowhere near good enough, and that's something we have to improve on. No doubt about that. And like I said, we've got to be careful of just saying just because we're at home, we don't want any feeling of okay, we're a bit safer now we're at home, and that can border into complacency. And the last thing we can be in the league position that we're in, and what we want to do is have any percentage of complacency, because that would be really harmful. So no, what we've got to do is start from scratch again in terms of preparation, think about the things that we've done well here and why we've done well, and do whatever it takes to try and recreate that, if not improve it. And that starts with me in a messaging to the players and the work on and off the training pitch, hoping that like we can deliver when it counts, when game day comes. But like I said, we love playing at home, but at the same time, there's no guarantees, and it's Chelsea. We've got to be ready for sure.
You face another ex-Swansea manager. What do you make of Graham's career path and the early work he's been able to do?
Yeah, I mean, we've actually never met. We have exchanged messages over the course of the last few years, but we don't know each other in terms of meeting in person. But obviously, naturally, a lot of admiration for the coach that he is and the journey that he's been on, and there will be a big respect from me for that, and his coaching team. Desperate to do well against him in the next game, of course, and I won't be thinking too much about that. I'll just be thinking about Nottingham Forest and our club succeeding on the day. But yeah, only positive and respectful things from me and to Graham, that's for sure.
Thanks a lot. Good luck.
You too. Thanks.
Hi Steve. Just a few follow-up questions from myself. A key word you mentioned throughout, and I think after the Manchester United game, was that belief. How is that something that is it something that you can coach into the players? Is it really still that in the squad?
I hope so. And not just from me, but the other staff, and I think even from players to players. Everybody's got to try and challenge each other, but support each other at the same time, in really believing that we can do well. So it is getting the balance right between being supportive, but at the same time being firm and demanding, and it's an elite environment that we have to work in. So but in the end, you want everybody, especially the players, to feel good about themselves and to feel about more about the things that they can do rather than the things they can't do. That's the intention, and we're doing our very best to give the players that. But at the same time, they've got to think of themselves as well, and that's where it starts. So, but that's just elite sport. That's just high end stakes, if you like, in terms of getting results. And in the end, as I keep saying, you cannot worry about too many other things apart from yourself, and that's where we've really got to focus.
And of course, like you say, then the focus is on yourselves. But Graham Potter's had a bit of a bumpy start, I think it's fair to say, at Chelsea so far. Do you think that if you can get at them early on in the game, that could be there for the taking? Well,
we've got to do that in any game anyway. Easier said than done, of course. But no, I don't really buy into sometimes form or context around things like that, because the moment you think like that, you normally get the opposite in the game. I go back to, we've just got to really concentrate on bringing the best version of our game to the City ground, because unless we do that, we won't give ourselves the best chance of winning. So that's what we have to do. It's going to be a really tough game, but it's an exciting game, and these are the games that we've all longed for at the club. But we don't just want to take part in these games. We want to make sure that we are doing whatever we can to win, and that's something that we've really got to focus on now, from now until the game.
And just finally for me, Henderson, of course, is back available for this one and throughout the rest of the season.
Well, you know, obviously we believe in our goalkeeping department. We know both Dean and Wayne's strengths. Obviously, there's Jordan as well, and there's other goalkeepers in and around the group. But and just to have them guys pushing each other every day to be at their best come match day is a positive thing. Naturally, Dean was never going to play against United. He couldn't because of the normal loan process with parent clubs. But he's trained hard in his time around the game, and you know, training again today. We'll see where they're at in terms of preparation for the game.
Just a quick follow-up on Henderson as well. Of course, there was a bit of disappointment that he wasn't selected for the World Cup squad. Have you seen him kind of like more hungry than ever to perform?
No, I've just seen him the same. He's a very good trainer, a very enthusiastic lad on and off the training pitch. Desperate to do well for Nottingham Forest, that's for sure. And any good domestic success he has obviously will help international selection if that's in his mind at all. But no, I've just seen a normal Dean Henderson, which is a noisy one around the training ground, but that's fine. And we're enjoying working with him. We're enjoying helping him grow and improve like every other player. You know, we believe a lot in that and in development, and all with the idea of good performances on match days, but one game at a time. You know, sort of short-term goals for us, and Dean will be thinking the same, I'm sure.
Thanks very much, Steve. Thank you.
Steve, is Gustavo Scarpa going to be available?
No, he's not allowed because of the window. So we have to wait until the transfer window opens.
Is it the work permit and everything sorted? Will he come straight into the squad once that's gone through?
He'll be available, yeah, as soon as the window opens. But we're not thinking too much about that at the moment. Obviously, it's great to have Gustavo in. He's with the group, training hard. But obviously, and we've spoken about this. Real focus is just on the guys who can play in the games at the moment. When that changes for him and he's available, then you know we'll cross that bridge. But you know he's had a good settling in period now and enjoying life in Nottingham, I hope.
Just a word on being back at the City Ground. How much of you and the squad missed it?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, because I mean, even the last couple of weeks before Blackburn and then United, I think we were all sort of just waiting for the return. Everyone knew the break was coming, but as soon as you got back into training and friendly games, you're always thinking about the real action. So that's up and running now. We've had 2 games, but both away. So to be back at the City Ground is good. And we want to thrive on being at the City Ground. As I said, we don't want to take anything for granted, and we won't. But what we have done already this season is had some positive moments here, and we've got to really think about why they were that way. And as I said before, try and recreate that, because it'll give us ourselves the best chance of winning and playing well, which is what we want to do. Cheers.
Super. Can we ask for cameras off, please? Thank you.
you.
We'll move.